Welcome back, everyone. And I wanted to go over this hilarious clip between Cenk Uyger and Allan Lichtman, who apparently is the mastermind behind the 13 keys that lead absolutely nowhere.
Don't blame the voters. I think, look, we could get into this discussion, but one, I think you're blaming the voters. I think that's a terrible idea. Look, I debated Professor Lichtman before. I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right. He was wrong. I said he'd lose his keys.
No, you were
Couldn't
not
find
right,
them
and
before
I
the
was
election.
not wrong, and that's a cheap shot, and I won't stand for it.
Well, who won, brother?
You should not be
Who
taking
won?
cheap
Who
shots
won?
at me.
Who
You
won?
want to make your
You
point,
live
make your
in a
point.
total
Don't make it
world of
personal.
denial.
I read your own followers' comments, and they all trashed you, every one of them, and supported me.
Yeah,
so quiet with
right.
your personal
yeah,
attacks.
come find out again.
Make whatever
Okay.
point you want.
Yeah.
Don't
Look,
make it personal.
You don't know anything. You don't know
You
anything.
attacked me
You
personally.
You're so deluded.
All right. I've only
Okay.
been a professor for 51 years.
On this program,
published
I've never been
13
able
books.
to finish a
How
thought.
many books have you published? No, because you're personally
Yeah.
attacking me again. Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to
Okay,
stand
but
for
brother,
personal
you got it
attacks.
wrong.
Say
You were
whatever you want.
preposterously and stupidly wrong. So, okay, all right. Can I just
Don't
finish
call
a
me
goddamn thought
stupid.
ever on this show?
No,
I just love how, first of all, it's pretty hilarious how he gets so animated once Cenk Uyger alludes to how, his theory behind the keys, and I'm actually going to show those, are stupid. And then immediately he's just like, don't call me stupid, as if he's Inspector Gadget or something like that. It was just a hilarious interaction. And his keys are obnoxious, and I'll show you why in just a second, but let it play on just for a second here.
not if you're
Okay,
personally
well,
I
you proved
admitted
it.
I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
Can I just say,
What
it's
kind of
great to see
nonsense
you
is that?
Democrats
Yeah, I
all
know.
getting
Who
along
taught
so
you
well.
manners?
It's lovely to
You're
see a
just one. Can I
post-election
finish a
harmony as you all
goddamn
come
point?
together
We're
again.
just one
Allan,
right now.
shh. Hey, Allan, you deserve a tall glass of shut-up juice, so can you just shut up for a second and let someone who knows what
Not
they're
if
doing
you're
So
talk,
right,
personally
Piers.
attack
You're
me.
so right.
This man is angry. Hands are, tucked away, look like he crapped his pants or something. It's just a hilarious interaction here.
We're
Make
so
any
unified right now.
point
it's
you
great.
want.
So-
I will not sit here and stand
So-
for personal attacks, for blasphemy against me. You don't need to do that. You don't boost your
Blasphemy
ego
against you?
by
Who the hell are
attacking
you?
me
Are you
like that.
Jesus
Just
Christ,
make your
you
points.
loser? Okay, can
Make your
can I
points.
just give the correct answer for once?
And actually, let me just kind of circle over here to Alan Lichtman's 13 Keys. And to be perfectly honest, because he likes to pretend like he's like this all-knowing individual who, has the book, he has, the credentials behind him. As he even mentioned, in an interaction, he's written 13 books and has been a professor for 51 years, as if that like means something. I mean, you could be a professor of anything, and especially in nowadays, and be completely wrong, in the books that, you're publishing, as he has been. And I'm going to show you why, because everything that he has here is completely, or a lot of this is just subjective to, your feelings, right? And then a good way, because he actually had Kamala Harris winning a lot of these. And so, in fact, you see a lot of these. So, midterm games, incumbency, primary contest. And this is actually a funny one. So, you had, Kamala Harris winning this one, and they didn't have a primary, and he likes to pretend like, oh, there really wasn't anyone who could go against her. Yeah, because she was just automatically anointed. And then this one is actually pretty hilarious. So third party, we all remember that, well, RF Kennedy was the third party candidate. He decided to support who? Donald J. Trump. He doesn't take that into account. And then he had Harrison, having one of the keys here, short-term economy. So basically feelings towards the economy. I believe you had Kamala Harris winning both short and long-term, as if, as if our economy is like in great shape. Policy changes, social unrest, White House scandals. I mean, it's obvious he was just going to have, Trump failing at this one. Incumbent charisma. So you say challenger charisma. So he had obviously Kamala Harris winning that. And it's just like, based on what? These are all questions, and these are all statements regarding one's own feeling, because I guarantee you, if you ask on the Republican side, obviously they're going to say like Trump has more charisma. And if you ask someone who's like really strong on the Democratic side, they're just going to say, oh, it's Kamala Harris, she has a charisma. Foreign policy failures, and obviously they would just point to, oh yeah, so for example, which majority of individuals, that depends on where you land on this, but if Ukraine, obviously it's not going the way that they would want it to be going. But if you ask someone on the left, they'll be like, yeah, everything is fine, and it's just like, really. So these keys are just keys to doors that lead absolutely nowhere, and this guy is just a complete clown. That's why that whole interaction was pretty hilarious, and it's always great when individuals like this get knocked down a peg. And the other thing about this is, if you think about who won, like, so for example, Obama versus Romney, I mean, it was pretty clear, even before that, John McCain, it was pretty clear Obama was going to win that. You don't need this, guru telling you about his keys. Follow this, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, and, here's the answer. It's just hilarious. He's honestly just a drifter. So I thought this was a hilarious interaction. Wondering what everyone else's thoughts are.